Step number one is figuring out where your lack of confidence comes from. And for me, it was from two things. First, it was just not feeling good about how I look on the outside in terms of having PCOS.
Welcome back to the PCOS Holistic Coach podcast with me, Dr. Ami Patel, pharmacist, fellow sister, and coach. This podcast is an easy to listen to resource for your busy on-the-go life. You will learn how you can live a healthier and happier life with PCOS from real conversations about managing PCOS and the symptoms with amazing guest speakers.
I never thought that I would be recording an episode on confidence. And the reason is because for 32 years of my life, I was not confident. It was only something I started developing last year in 2023. And the idea for this episode came about for two reasons. One, it's a conversation that I had with one of my clients in terms of feeling confident despite having PCOS. And the second reason is that a lot of people started telling me last year, 2023, that I seem more confident in front of the camera and just there's a confidence about me in the way I move and do things. And I at first didn't really see it, but then I was reflecting back and I realized that there is a little bit truth to it. While I was reflecting, I realized there was two situations where I felt super confident, and the first time I didn't even know what it was. So this was mid-2023, and I was preparing for an interview. I felt really good about it in terms of preparation, not that nervous when I knew that the interview was going to be, and throughout the interview itself, I just felt really comfortable with my answers and in what I was saying, and afterwards I felt really good about it too, and I had a feeling that I was going to get offered the job. These are things and feelings that I never experienced before, and I was just telling one of my friends this, and she told me, and I was like, oh, I don't know what this is, but it feels really good and I want more of it. And she literally said that it's called confidence. And I laughed out loud because I was like, oh, I never felt like this before. I didn't know what confidence even was. It wasn't part of my vocabulary or something I had in my life. And so that's when I really started to notice. So that was just like not that long ago, like 8 months ago at this point. And since then, I've started to become more aware, and then I had another opportunity that came about, which was also amazing. Oh, which, by the way, I did get that job offer. And so this other opportunity that came about is I had the chance to be in commercials for Walmart. I did 4 commercials where I wrote the script and I filmed the commercial. I was asked to come to the studio and do the filming, and in that, I felt really comfortable. I felt like I was supposed to just be there and do those videos. And I felt really great about doing it, and people were giving me feedback after they came out that you look really confident in front of the camera. And so with that being said, I was like, okay, let's do this episode on confidence, and I want you guys to know that confidence is possible for you too, and I'm going to share tips on how you can increase confidence in your life despite having PCOS or any hormone condition that makes you feel not great about yourself. Step number one is figuring out where your lack of confidence comes from. And for me, it was from two things. First, it was just not feeling good about how I look on the outside in terms of having PCOS and some of the symptoms associated with that. But even before that, a lot of it was related to cultural conditioning about what the definition of beauty was and how I didn't feel like I fit that with having dark skin and curly hair. The second thing that really hindered me from having confidence is not really knowing who I was as a person, what I wanted, and I was doing a lot of people pleasing. And this is something I discovered about 2 years ago. So it's been a journey from mid-2022 to through 2023, really, with the support of coaches, therapy, EFT tapping, Reiki, things like that have really helped me figure out and connect with myself and help me overcome these people-pleasing tendencies and focusing on myself, a lot of self-care, and a lot of self-love has helped with that. But that brings me to step number 2, which is addressing the issues that are related to why you don't have self-confidence. And so for me, that meant going through, well, I wasn't really intending to be like, oh, I don't have confidence, so let me go through therapy for that. But it was a lot of other things that were happening. And then this was one of the benefits that came out of it while I was addressing all the issues and working through all the things that I needed to work through. And then in terms of managing my health, that of course has helped me with improving my symptoms and how they come about on the external part. For example, like my hair loss has improved, my acne has improved, the weight is not where I want it to be exactly, but it's getting there and I'm not gaining weight, so I am happy about that. When I did start working with professionals and going through therapy, it was for things like dealing with childhood wounds and trauma. And so eventually, while I was working on healing those aspects, and it is still a journey and still something I'm working on, through that I did connect more with myself and I have become confident.
Are you enjoying this episode? Would you love the opportunity to have a conversation with me and other like-minded individuals who are also striving to become empowered about their health? If you said yes, then my free Holistic Hormone Healing Support Facebook group is for you. I invite you to improve your health with a sense of community, accountability, and fun. Learn more and join through the link in the description.
Speaking more specifically about the symptom management, so a lot of my content is related to that, which you can refer back to, but I also do provide one-to-one support if that is something you're looking for. I've helped my clients manage their symptoms. We've worked on mindset and they do feel confident and happy. So if you are interested in that, look in the description for a link to sign up for a free 30-minute consultation. But in addition to that, just make sure that you are doing what you can that's in your control to manage your symptoms. If it is taking medications and supplements, speak to your providers about how they can help and your goals with that, about stopping if that is what you want, and managing your lifestyle. And in terms of figuring out what else is causing lack of confidence in your life, think about your day-to-day life and the things that come up that trigger you in not basically being yourself and being comfortable with yourself. So is it things that, like, are there people that make comments that are not respectful, or they make comments about how you look or the things you say or the way you are? Like, you need to question why you have somebody in your life that is constantly putting you down and affecting your confidence. And the other thing is, if it's something like being in front of the camera, why is that something that you struggle with? Or is it because you're worried about comments people will make, that they'll laugh at you, judge you, things like that? And then, as always, seeking professional help when necessary to overcome these things, because it's not easy to deal with trauma and childhood issues that may still be lingering and affecting your adult life. Tip number 3 is focusing on your strengths, and that can really boost your confidence. A lot of times we focus on the things we're lacking in and trying to get better at that, which is great to an extent, but focusing on the things you're good at and exemplifying that even further can help build your confidence. And going back to my example of like my features and things that I was not happy with at a time. So a lot of my journey in the last couple of years had to do with self-acceptance, and so that meant learning to embrace my curly hair, which now I learned how to do properly, and I love wearing it curly, and I do feel confident when I do. And another thing is, like with our bodies, for example, I don't necessarily love the fact that I have some weight around my abdomen, but I do like my legs and I feel like they're toned, and so I dress in the sense that maybe hides my abdomen area a little bit better and can show my legs more. And so that makes me feel confident, and just learning how to dress for your body type, basically. For example, like when I went to India recently, they were trying to sell me like the latest trends of outfits and styles, and I found a style of an outfit that I feel looks great on me, and so that is the style I bought, not something that's the latest trend. So things like that can really help with how you feel and just present yourself, and just feeling great when you look in the mirror as well. Another thing that helped with my confidence that's not related to my external features is focusing on other strengths I have. For example, I'm really good at communicating and listening. I'm really good at making connections with people and with motivating and coaching people. And so I just constantly reminded myself of those things when I felt like I was really struggling and not feeling good about myself in other areas of my life. Another thing that I found to be super helpful is that I would take screenshots of things that people have said to me that reminded me of qualities that they complimented. And so I have a folder where if I feel like I'm down or upset, or I just need that boost, then I go into that folder and review or look over the things that people have said about me, where I've helped them, or I motivated them to do something, or I made an impact on their life. And so that has really helped me feel like, okay, like the things that I'm doing are effective and I feel good about myself and confident. If you guys want more practical tips on increasing your confidence, refer back to the three recent episodes that I've done, where I've had 2 guest experts share their knowledge in their area about resilience with having a chronic condition, engaging in self-care and self-love. And I've also done an episode on self-care most recently as well. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments on YouTube. If you want to tell me how you are going to take these steps and imbibe confidence in your life, I would love to hear from you in my DMs on Instagram or TikTok at pcos.holistic.coach. As always, be kind to yourself, be patient, and focus on progress, not perfection.